So are you of the impression that going hiking is all about living in the rough and roughing it? Think again. Today, I'm going through my luxury items, those items that I probably don't need to take, but I do anyway, that I take on each and every hike pretty much with me. From a nice comfy chair to a camera with all the bells and whistles, these are my game-changing luxury items that I take out on the trail. So stick around to find out how I hike in style. Let's get into it. Hi everyone, Mauser here. Welcome back to the channel. And on this channel, we look at all things hiking, and today, hiking luxury. Today, we are mixing comfort with adventure. So let's dive into my luxury items that transform any hiking trip into pretty much a 5-star hiking experience. Let's get straight into it. But before we dive straight in, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video. You even hit the bell notification icon thingy, little bell thing, and you'll get notified of when my weekly videos come out. Also sign up to the newsletter, which comes out once a month. Check that out too. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. The first item, it's one of my favorites. It never not comes on a trip now. It comes on every trip, in fact, and that is this thing. It is the Helinox ground chair, which I like to call the throne of the trails. Now, I do love this thing. I've had it for quite a few years now. When I first started taking it, people were looking at it going, what are you doing taking a chair? I mean, seriously, they were saying, what are you doing? I said, well, it's 640 grams, it's comfort central, and I tell you what, once they saw me in it and they had a sit in it themselves, everyone ended up getting one. Now we all go with them. We always take a ground chair each. And, you know, it provides some entertainment as well. It's 640 grams of pure enjoyment and entertainment, because what we'll sometimes do if we're a bit bored at camp, we're going a bit stir crazy, it's been a long day, you know, we'll have a competition to see who can set this thing up the fastest. In fact, let's just set it up right now and see how quick I can do it. Julian, can you just put a timer on the screen for me? Thanks, man. Right, ready, set. Set up. Not my best effort, but I was pretty quick. What did we get? Not bad. But I mean, how good is that? You can have this chair, you can set it up at lunchtime, you can have it at dinner, breakfast, at all your meals, you can live like a king. And I love the ground chair for that reason, and it's so durable as well. I've had it for years, hasn't even looked like it's even anywhere near used. Like, it's perfect condition, it's had a rough life, and it is in excellent condition. So it's a ground chair, highly recommend. I do know that Helinox have the Chair One. Hiking chairs are popular these days. Chair One is a bit lighter. I think that's what it's called. Chair Zero, sorry. Chair Zero. It's a bit lighter than this, but what I like about this is the square base. So when you're on softer ground, the legs don't dig into the ground. You can sit anywhere with this one. Whereas with the Chair Zero, that tends to sink into the ground a bit. I've seen that happen, and I definitely prefer the ground chair. Now, you can get ones like this as well, which is the next level. I take this on maybe a 2-night trip with a few mates, just to, I guess I'm showing off a bit, but I'll take this rocking chair, Helinox chair, the big chair, I can't remember what it's called, we'll flash it on the screen, bit heavier, I think it's maybe a kilo, but that has a rocking chair thing happening. Very nice chair as well. Doesn't really come on many trips. That's more of a family camping chair, but it's a bit of fun. Now, the next item is a new one, which I talked about recently on another video. It is my super long, super wide sleeping pad. It's my Nemo Tensor sleeping pad. Now, this is a luxury item. Sleeping pads are important, but when you're going 25-inch full width, look at that thickness on that thing. That is comfort central. And at 600 grams, I'm happy to carry that with my sleep system that I have now sort of put together very nicely to measure in at 1.5 kilograms, including my quilt, including my next luxury item, my pump, and another item, a pillow that includes all that. That's pretty good, I think, to ensure that I'm going to have the most comfortable sleep possible after some pretty grueling days on the trail. So I guess you've got the throne of the trails in Helinox, then you can sleep like royalty with your Nemo Tensor pad. That's what I'm talking about. Next luxury item, well, it goes with the sleep pad. It is my pillow. That's the new one, the Flextail pillow. Again, I spoke about that again recently. Trying a new one out this year, but I've always used this one, the Nemo Fillo pillow. Good pillow. I just wanted to try something with a slightly different neck support scenario happening. But I love taking a pillow. I take one. I've taken a pillow since around 2003 when I used to take one of those foam ones, but I've taken one ever since. It's just a blessing to have a pillow when you're out sleeping. Trying to fill stuff sacks with clothes and things, it doesn't work for me. I've tried heaps. The other one, Trekology 2.0, not a bad pillow. We're trying the Flextail out, and it's a nice bit of luxury to take, and I can't imagine myself not taking a pillow ever. Like, I'll always take a pillow now. Next up, and I touched on it before, well, this is my other luxury item. It is a pump. And again, I remember maybe 5 years ago rocking up to a hike, first night in on a back 7 or 8 day hike, and I pulled out my pump and started pumping up my sleeping pad, and everyone's like, what are you doing? Why have you got a pump? I said, just blow it up with your mouth. And I was like, no, this is very nice actually. It's quite good. I had a Thermarest one then, got the Flextail now, and wouldn't you know it, everyone's got a pump now. Everyone takes a pump that I hike with, and we're all carrying our own pumps around, which seems a bit crazy, but you know, they gradually started borrowing my pump. Oh, can I borrow your pump just to pump up my mat? I'll be like, yeah, sure, go for your life. And eventually more pumps started rocking up, and I love this little pump slash lantern, whatever you want to call it, because it's a good idea. You've got the light, you've got the pump, and I like having a lantern hanging in the tent at night, in addition to my very light head torch. But that is a lovely luxury item, and again, that comes on pretty much every trip these days. Well, I don't see why I wouldn't take it. If I'm taking a sleeping pad, well, this is coming. So, and I also use it to pump up my pillow as well, which, you know, it's nice, I guess. Goes different brightness settings. Yeah, luxury right there. In terms of other sort of little luxuries, I guess, well, one of them I do take pretty often because I don't like to stink. I don't like being stinky, and that's a bit of deodorant, whatever I can find. Very lightweight little can, probably unnecessary a lot of the time, but I always just pack a little one with me. I'm trying to be considerate to my tent buddy, whatever, you know, I want to smell nice while I'm out there, and I'm just a little spray of that each morning. Yeah. There you go. It's very nice. And that's just one of the little things. And another sort of funny thing we do take occasionally is what we love to call, and please adopt this saying, is non-rationed. So in the months leading up to a big trip like I've got coming up next month, we'll start talking about how much non-ration we're going to carry, you know, on a trip. And this is stuff we just pull out at the most random moment to surprise our hiking buddies. We'll pull out a little treat for everyone to eat. Generally it's food while we're out on the trail, and surprise them with it. I mean, I remember a time last year, 2 years ago, I remember a time 2 years ago when my good mate Croft, he met us with our other mate Woolsey, he met Bowie and I out on the trail on about day 3 or 4 for Bowie and I. These guys came in fresh, and then on day 2 for them, we'd just come up this big mountain rocky ridge. We'd been walking all day, pretty tough conditions, and we arrived at this spot for lunch, and wouldn't you know it, Croft pulls out 4 cans of Coca-Cola. I mean, 2 days in to like a 5-day trip, he's pulled these cans out, and we sat there like kings drinking this Coca-Cola. That's up there with one of the best non-rations yet, but it can often be big blocks of chocolate, lots of lollies, and I'm not talking about just people bring out one item and that's it for the trip. Like every couple of days I'll bring out another little thing. So we love our non-rationed. It's one of the little luxury items that we take. I mean, I have threatened not to take any non-ration next month for our big 9-day trip. I'm trying to save on weight. I'm getting old. I need to take lighter stuff, but just I don't know if I can go through with being that person that doesn't bring non-ration on a trip. So, you know, if you're going hiking with regular mates all the time, think about the non-ration and what little surprises you can pull out. And it's a good way to get creative on your trips and sort of, you know, have a bit of fun while you're out there, especially on a bad weather day. It's really nice when someone pops up with a bit of non-ration. And the last thing, well, my last personal luxury item that I take, well, it's generally my big camera. And I've gone into videos before where I've said I've got to cut back on the big camera gear, and you know, but it's a luxury item for me. I like taking it. I like having a good camera with me to take photos, especially if we get some auroras and things like that here in Tasmania. I'd like to have one of these on hand with me. I just love photography. I'm a very hobbyist. I'm nowhere near, you know, I'm a hobbyist photographer. I'm not that good, but I enjoy it. Something I'm passionate about, and that I'm not going to take it next month, I don't think, on my trip for 9 days, but I just like having one of these with me just in case, and I always end up getting at least a couple of really good shots. So don't know, stay tuned for the gear video for that 9-day trip. Is this coming? I don't know. This is the Sony A7C with a G Master F1.4 24mm lens. I would normally take a 16 to 35, but I think I'm trying to pair this back to the lightest weight unit I can. I mean, in the past I've taken this camera I'm filming this on, which is an A7 IV. Don't know, I'm getting into this camera lingo now. That's enough of that. So there you have it. That is my sort of luxury items that I'm currently taking on the trail. It'll change with time. We'll do another video down the track with, I've left a couple of things out too, but we'll come back another time. Check out that video up there where I go into a few other bits and pieces. But in the meantime, get out in the trail, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.